Welcome, guys, to my Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 7 recap and review. I'm sorry I'm late. Lots going on still, guys, but I'm here with Miss T Joy. How are you, Miss T Joy?
I'm good. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I have opinions. I have
Yes, I
opinions.
have lots of opinions, but first, let's discuss something that happened at the end of this episode, but happened early today.
She's like,
Rachel said,
y'all late.
"Yeah, wait. I know. I'm sorry. I was trying to get all the
You have to give Mika
conversation,
grace. She got a lot going on. We just got to be thankful she even here. So we just
and I have a lot going on. So, I'm here, and I'm not gonna be here, um, tomorrow. So, but yeah. Hi, Danita. Yes, I know I'm late. I'm late. Uh, hey, Mary. And yes, Mary also has a lot of opinions. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, Shanice. Listen, everybody got opinions, so I'm glad I hopped on then because I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys until Wednesday if I
yeah.
didn't. Jessica says, hi. Overall thoughts, Ace is trying to manufacture his own storyline and it's annoying to watch. Also, most of us have a consensus about Huda and Jerem, but must Ace say something every episode? Oh, that's so funny because
Every episode.
I thought the same thing today. I said, you know what? I agree with Ace. He needs to lay off. He needs to figure his own shit out and he needs to lay off with them because he's gonna cause them to be victims. And I don't care for them. I don't care for their coupling.
Right.
I don't care for their date. And I don't need them to be victims. I need them out of my villa. We get it.
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
get
I
it.
put on the Love Island on their Instagram page. They had the little montage of their whole date and everything. And I went
Mhm.
under there and I said, we with the that emoji where it's like they're screaming, the guy's screaming. I was like, we don't care.
We
Only
don't care.
Ace does.
Yes. Rachel says, hey, ladies, a bunch of men need to go in the bin this episode. Yeah. And this is my thing, too, about this date. Of the 2 seasons we just went through, this is the first date that we've gotten that's not a date with new bombshells and not
No,
final
it's not a
dates.
date with new bombshells. They're trying to push this storyline heavy. It's not a date with new bombshells, and it's a date very early. It's a date very early, isn't it?
Like, I would have rather seen probably 90% of the couples, even the ones I didn't like last year, get a date than to get this date, to be honest.
Exactly.
Uh no, don't root for them, but also I get it. Rachel says, I seen someone say production forced Ace to pick Amaya, which is why he's flipped, but doesn't want to touch or cuddle her because with Shelly he was doing all that. It's possible. It's possible they said, hey, you can pick Amaya. You could still explore with Shelly. She'll be right there. She's not going home, Austin, and they'll make a better storyline. You'll get with her later. Listen, he's 22. I can see it. I'm not gonna sit there and say it's all on Ace, to be honest. Um, I told you I did not see anything with that girl and him, and I'm proven right. He does not want her. He doesn't want her to me.
Yeah, but why do you have? I don't like it when a man keeps trying to tell you, I could have picked anybody. I could have picked anybody, but I picked you. Like, he just wants you to see him as the prize so bad. Ace
He
want to be the
does.
prize
He
so
does.
bad, and I don't like men like that. They want to be
Yeah.
they want to be chased and
But that's
pursued.
why men like that either need somebody who will make him the prize or somebody who's going to be like, I don't care if you think you're the fucking prize, you're no fucking prize. Because
Right.
that's
But
the
if he
person
would have
he'll
kept it
respect
cute
more.
with Amaya, she would have treated him like the prize. Cause she that type of girl. If he would have kept it cute with her, she only
Mhm.
started acting like that because every time he talked to her, he got
Because
5
he
things to tell
doesn't
her he
like
don't
her,
like.
though. I think it's because he really, really doesn't want to be with her or like her. I don't think he
Okay.
wants
Well,
to
he did not have to
even,
pick her. He did not have to
yeah,
pick her.
which is why I'm like, did production make him? Just like kind of like how I feel like what happened with Miguel and Liv. I feel like production prodded him to pick her.
Maybe so.
And then remember, he was like, well, I just see this as a physical thing. And he was trying to talk to other girls the entire time.
Yeah, because he didn't want to get tied down to anybody. He wanted to play the
But I
field.
also think he did not want that person that he chose. And I think we're seeing
I
a
don't put
similar,
anything past production.
yeah,
But I just
I
felt
think
like
we see
Ace was
similar
being
stuff.
nasty with it. Like, just leave
That,
her
that's the part
alone.
I don't like. That's the part I didn't like. CJ says, hey, ladies, did you hear about Love Island UK season 12 first episode? Heard it was the same start, which is why I'm not covering it here. But
Oh, I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't even watched it. I haven't even had no desire. No, I did have a desire when you told me something about exes. So I was like, well, I might watch it, but not enough to watch it every day. It's like whenever I catch it, I catch it.
yeah, we might cover it on Chantel's channel if she, needs some help. But right now, not appointment watching for us.
Right.
Um,
Because again, they got one black woman and one
yeah,
black man. It's like they anyway.
and Shanice says Ace is producing himself, possibly.
Right.
He just seemed very annoyed, and I was just like, well, who are you annoyed with? Because you picked her. So I don't know if he is annoyed with himself or production. Rachel says, I would have preferred to watch Kayla and American Girl go on a date than this. I agree. That's what I'm saying. There are couples that I did not like together. Well, we know who she's talking about. There are couples that I didn't like from last season as couples, and I would have rather watched them go on this date than these two.
Crack me up.
Tia is here. Hi, Tia. And Rachel said it. I'm glad Shelly stood on business. All right, we're gonna come back to the Ace and Shelly because that's pretty much what we're gonna be talking about all season. But first up, if you missed it, Love Island Beyond the Villa trailer dropped today, and it actually was at the end of the episode.
Yes.
Right. So if you missed it, because remember, I think last week I said I think that they had cut it out of the episode, the first episode, because I think they were still splicing and dicing the trailer. We see now, dropped it, and we have a premiere date. Sunday, July 13th, Beyond the Villa will be on our Scream streaming, and then the first episode will be Thursday, July 17th. So, seemingly, Love Island season 7 ends, Beyond the Villa begins.
What'd you say now? July 12th? It's the 13th?
July 13th. Sunday, July 13th.
Okay. And then what'd you say about the 17th?
That's the first episode. So, like, the premiere episode is the 13th, and then the first episode will be a couple days later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I thought the trailer was interesting. It gave very Real Housewife vibes. Very much semi-scripted reality TV. So we'll see how it lands with every individual storyline and relationship storylines. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm wondering about this whole Janae and Kenny thing. I'm wondering about that.
I am not. I think it was just fodder to get people to watch the show. Personally, literally, I saw
it didn't seem real. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't. Like, if you saw the episode, like if you saw the date, they were posting the date, and they were fine. So,
based from you, like it's like they pieced that together. Like
that's what I got for it. Because to be honest, I could see it more being about him, like hers being like, oh well, I want us to live together. I think their biggest thing is to figure out where they're gonna live. And to be fair, Janae just bought that house in Vegas. It's a 5-bedroom house, but she took, of the 5 bedrooms, she has her own bedroom, She took one for an office. She took one to make her closet.
Mm-hmm.
And that leaves two bedrooms, which one is obviously a guest room. So it's like, is the other room for Kenny? Like, can he get a room? Like, like sometimes a guy needs his own like little space. So
Right.
I don't know if that's the argument. To me, it's all the spice and dice. I'm not even worried about it. It's literally giving Real Housewives where um they put in the trailer that somebody's on shaky ground and then
Yeah.
it's
And then it's
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel says they made it seem like Serena had anxiety about Cordell leaving when it was about her apartment being broken into. No, so she was like, so basically, from what I'm piecing together, because that conversation was an earlier thing that happened. So she must have had anxiety over something else. And then I think the apartment breaking into made it worse because that was literally in her apartment, that scene, and she literally left her apartment and went to a hotel. She's not in her apartment any longer. So
Right.
yeah, she was going through some stuff. So Tia says, I'm wondering if even as simply as them living together in the temporary. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it was as simple as they were given two separate apartments as far as we could tell. Janae really didn't ever show her space. Kenny showed his a lot. If you watch the snap, he's moved out of it. She's moved out of her place. She's back in Vegas. And um no, I don't think so. No. But I'll look at it. So I think that's also it because we couldn't tell if they gave him a two-bedroom or gave her two-bedroom. And to be fair, they haven't lived together since the villa, so I could kind of understand. Well, do we want to use this experience to rush into living together, or do we want to do it properly? Right?
Right.
I I'm sure it'll be nothing better. I've never seen that man so happy as much as I have these last couple of weeks while he's been in LA. To be honest, so we'll see.
He's back to hanging out with his friend Kendall. I saw them something
Well,
on his
he
story.
won't be hanging out with him much because Kendall lives in LA now. So unless he moves to LA, he went back to Dallas, as far as I know. So I'm excited. I will cover it. So we'll be here every Thursday. I don't know how many episodes it will be. I don't know if it's 5, 10, 7, whatever it is. We will be here to cover it. Okay. So episode 7. Uh, I don't trust Blockhead Dora. They called him Dora. They called him Christopher Columbus. I was dying on him. So, episode 7, we see that Bella has departed. And Sierra and Nick chat, and he says um, she thinks I gave her a false sense of hope. And Sierra says,
Did
and you
you?
don't feel that way, did you? And he's like, no, I didn't ever portray it was more. I'm like, you don't think telling her that Sierra was 80 and she was 20, but her coming after him at the challenge got her back up to 50-50? Like
No, no, no. That doesn't give her false hope. No, 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 no. Not at all.
50-50.
Not at
Like
all.
she had a 50-50 shot of you
That's what
choosing
I'm
her.
saying. They act like, whew, child.
Sierra says she loved his speech and is really happy that how it worked out. So he kisses her on the cheek and they kiss and they make out. She says it feels good to do it out in the open anytime we want to. And I'm like, okay. Nick ITMs, this was the hardest decision he ever had to make. Now it feels like a weight has come off. Loves that he can be himself in front of her now. He's not worried about what anybody else is thinking. It's an amazing feeling. And Sierra said, good job. I'm proud of you. KB is here. KB says, hi, ladies in chat. Tonight's episode had me clutching my pearls and cackling. It was a lot going on. That's also that's another thing that took me a long time because I'm like, what the? Every time I kept pausing and be like,
right, me too. I was like, my dog was like, why are you yelling at this TV? I was cracking up and yelling at the TV. It was a lot going on.
And this is my thing. I hate when they allow men to lead this show. This is what we get. These men know none of what they want.
That's because they don't cast men. They cast little boys. Yeah, and so they're not ready to lead.
I can't. Yeah, see, it's not just us. It's not just us. Yes, I was having whiplash. Like, it was just like, wait, what's going on? What? Like, from yesterday to today, I feel like whiplash. Tia says, I was entertained by this season. I'm so entertained by this season. This episode. No, yes, I'm thoroughly entertained. I'm just saying that I'm just sitting here like, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on? The least interesting thing was that date. Is it just me? Or the date was I
sat and watched it, but I really wanted to fast forward.
Oh, I did. I really did. I listened to some of it, but I put it on like 2-3 times speed. That part, boys are cast, they sprinkle a man light to give off something to root for. It's crazy. So then Charlie and Hannah chat, and literally, I think this is about the only chat that they have the entire episode because they are that boring.
Nobody wants to see them.
Which is fine because I don't want to see them and I want them at my villa. I do not want this man to win this show.
And they be hyping her up. Girl, you came here and got your man in 3 seconds. She was like, yes, and I ain't had to fight nobody for him. Ooh.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason. Miss Love is here. Miss Love says same. The girls need to be the ones leading the show. The girls need to be the ones leading the show. I mean, it's entertaining, but also frustrating. I'm like not happy. Sherney says, I'm really getting mad because these are some of the baddest women ever, and most of the men would never have an opportunity.
Never. Let me tell you something. I'm so glad that Taylor turned it around because halfway through the episode, I was ready to fight. I was like, you, sir, chalant about her because you got a problem. You got a whole problem.
I think, to be fair, I'm going to explain my thoughts on them, that I'm still just like here. I'm just here with them. I'm going to let it play out. I'm not angry at him. I actually still really like them both, like, to be honest. But, yeah.
I like her a lot.
I'm so in love with her. I'm so in love with Shelly. That conversation with Alondria and Shelly was the best conversation, I think, the entire show. I'm like, can't y'all just couple up together and we just ship y'all? Like, because y'all are amazing.
I'm telling you.
Amazing. I can't. KB said, child, watch the date, but let it run while I was driving. Yeah, pretty much. And Mary says, we cannot have another Marco Leonardo Bergie situation where they are the ones in power. Please and thank you. That let us not have that happen.
No, please.
No, I can't. Danita saying, bombshell me, please. I also need that. I need that energy. I need that energy. I need that energy. Like,
and it doesn't even look like it's gonna happen tomorrow. It's like, when is it gonna happen?
Cause why is Amaya yelling at like? Okay, we're gonna go.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Now, not too much. Now, I was feeling for you. I
was okay with you, Amaya.
Right.
But why you yelling at Shelly?
Don't do that.
When the problem here is Ace. It's not her fault that she's a baddie.
You about to lose me now. Cause what she got to do with it? What she got to do with it?
And KB, the way my trio remains Ola, Shelly, and Tay. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm still there. I've not moved.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. With his small feet. Be mad at him. I'm like, our friendship, the way our friendship. Okay, now it's coming out. She liked you on Instagram because now you think y'all got a real friendship. Y'all, you just been in here 2 days. Calm down. Not too much. Not too much. Because even when you was in pain, you went running the hooda.
Oh, that's a lie
And
to
she
me.
just couldn't stand you a day and a half ago.
She doesn't have discernment. The fact that she ran to Huda said everything to me because she has no discernment then. She has no discernment. The fact that she went to Huda.
I was like, why you, out of all people, that's who you run to?
Yeah. No, she has no discernment because that girl don't like you. She only still likes you because you stopped talking to her man. That's it. That's all.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Listen, I mean, also fair. Listen, I'm not saying I don't like her. I'm saying,
well, I like her fine, but if she start yelling at Shelly, I'm not gonna like her.
I'm not gonna like her, right? But listen, the full New Yorker came out of this girl today, and she's like, "Mess with your mama, don't mess with me."
But you ain't yell. You told him that and then back down. You sat there. Yeah. He told you you passive aggressive. You still sat there, did all that. I mean, I'm sorry. I can't help it. You know, you did all that with him, but it was very low key. You kept letting him talk to you. He was talking softer and softer to make you look crazy. And you ain't raised, you know. So don't get in the dressing room now and try to get rah-rah with Shelly. Don't do that. Because she's never disrespected you in this whole thing.
Because she didn't even entertain his ass in that conversation where he was just like, "What?" Nick was like, "Well, you might as well go get Shelly," and he's like, "I'm gonna do just that." And she's like, "Oh, you remembered about me? Hi, right. How are you? What did we say? What did we say last night? Shelly wasn't gonna pay him.
Somebody to chase him, and it's not gonna happen with her.
And not with her. Not with her. Yeah, no." KB said yes, and the New York in me was like, I was thinking the entire thing. My whole thing is next episode, don't make me be mad because don't come for Shelly. That's all.
That's all I'm saying.
I was cackling watching Amaya and Ace Duke it out. They was giving NE vibes the entire no crazy.
What is NE? Y'all know I don't know all these initials.
Yeah, I think she is saying New Yorker still.
Oh, okay.
I want her to keep it up, but again, you know what? It's like how we're not mad at Ace totally being in Jeremiah Huda's business because he's aiming.
Northeast. Okay.
Yeah, because he's aiming all his ire really at Jeremiah. Like he's like, no, I see that she's really into him. It's him. I don't think he's being genuine, right? You know how we're fine with that part. I need Amaya to keep that same energy. You're not supposed to be fighting with Shelly. This is not what we do here. No. You're supposed to be fighting with Ace. Keep it cute. I don't think Ace is from New York. I think he's from Philly. No, I think he's from LA. He said.
He's from Watts.
Yeah, he's from he's from Compton. Watts. Yeah. Around that area. Yeah. So he's from LA and he's not from here. Jaquan said Shelly and Alandra called Ace the biggest player in After Sun. They did, and I said last night, and I see why they said it. I see now why they said it. Yep. Watts. No. Do you not know about Cinco? That man couldn't make a decision on his season. He had 2 baddies too.
Mary, please. No. Please, Mary.
Yes.
We already got Huda that I don't want to claim as a Virgo. Act right, Mary, in the chat. Do not start this.
Yeah. So yeah, Charlie and Hannah have decided to be boring, and I love that for them and keep them off my screen. Huda and Jeremiah chat, and Huda's like, "Oh, Bella was the closest person to me," which is news to us because they keep trying to make this whole new PPG thing come, and I was like, okay, so I'm not, so we didn't miss it.
She tried to make it that way too. But once she got mad that Olandria said something to her at that
Mhm.
thing, she
It
backed
has to
away
be
from
the
her and
same.
started
Yeah.
concentrating on Bella.
Yep.
Because she's funny. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so Jeremiah said, yeah, that was your bestie. And Huda
For
says, it just scares,
5 days.
yes.
People throw words around like just
Huda says it just scares me how men are. Jeremiah's like, men are women are weird too. Huda's like, that it just scares me how men are. Jeremiah says, but he was transparent in how he was feeling. Huda says, well, I couldn't tell. And I was like, so you not being able to tell us what's important here.
that's what I'm saying. He told both of them 50-50. Now I'm not gonna lie on Nick. Now he done some stuff, but he did tell both of them it was 50-50. Huda, you not in a relationship. He don't have to prove nothing to you. You worry about your. When she said that, I was like, why is it for you to tell? Worry about your own stuff. You're not the mother for real. You don't have to know everybody's business.
KB, hello. Child, the way I need Heather to get every time she opens her mouth, like I'm trying to like her.
Right.
I'm trying to like her, but every time she opens her mouth, I remember why I have a problem with her.
Yeah. She's annoying.
Jeremiah says, well, he's that he's lucky. He's gonna lock in with her. And Huda says, oh, well, you took me being a mom so well. And then Jeremiah says, well, I can get emotional. I cry over little things. And Huda says, oh, did you cry over me? Jeremiah says, oh, nah.
I'm like, now when did he say that? See, this is what I'm talking about, putting 20 on 10.
Yes.
When did he say he was crying over you? She wants to make this happen so bad. She wants them to be planning their wedding. They moving in together. It's just so much. And it hasn't been 7 days.
Yeah, no. So here we get the Ace and Amaya chat around the fire pit. So how are you feeling after the ceremony? Ace says. Amaya, I feel good. How are you feeling? Ace, he kept talking.
Oh, you having a good day? Let me change that real quick.
I was like, why are you still talking?
Did the girl go to sleep first? Because she get one good sleep. Like,
I think it was overwhelming. I can say one thing.
Her up to chop her down. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
All I kept saying was like, well, all he had to do was say, hey, listen, I don't move physical very quickly. So we don't gotta cuddle. We don't have to hold hands tonight. We're gonna take it on a slow burner. Instead, he said, I picked you. I wanted to give you the chance to still be open.
I wanted to give you. Do you notice the terminology that he uses as though he allows? I picked you. I gave you. I'm allowing you. I'm doing this for you.
And I was like, thank you. And he said, I want to be honest with you. I want to be open and explore different people, but I wanted to give you the experience as well to look around without feeling obligated. Like we're closed off early. So I'm a super slow burner. And when it comes to affection, I'm not super touchy or like kissing outside of challenges unless I'm really feeling it and really intimate with you. So even cuddling on the first night, getting to know you, not going to happen. Amaya said, okay.
Girl, she was so shocked. She was like, like, what is happening? Like, she was trying to process as he was talking, like, what?
She's like, well, I'm not like that. And also, this conversation could have waited till tomorrow. It's giving player vibes. It's actually very weird. Ace, offended. Player vibes. Really? How so? Amaya, because I just went from being on cloud nine, now questioning shit because I feel like you picked me. I was like feeling we were mutual. You were my number one, and I was your number one. And I said, well, see, this is where this is where no. But then she at least said, but I couldn't stand my delusional. But I was like, okay, so as long as you knew that that was a delusion, because you were definitely not his number one.
But she didn't know that, right? Because she's thinking he has not communicated. No. We're able to see everything. He has not communicated to her. He didn't tell her, not even like Nick. He never said, oh, it's 50-50 with you and Shelly. He never even said that. He never said that.
I don't know if he did to her, to Amaya, but remember that we had that conversation yesterday. He told Shelly he was 50-50. He told the guys he was 50-50. He told everybody he was 50-50 yesterday.
On who he was picking, yes, but he never told Amaya that.
I don't know if he told Amaya that. But
yeah, he never told her that. So she thinking you did pick me, so now I'm number one. So like, even if you were going wishy-washy, now that you picked me, the feeling must be mutual. Now I understand that's an assumption, but I don't think that she's delusional to make that assumption based on his actions and his words that he be talking that yin yang in her face, because he playing the game. He a player. She right. So but at least she recognized in the conversation, like, oh, okay, I'm delusional. Got it. Won't happen. Got it. You know what I mean? She was like, okay, got it. But he couldn't stop there. Go ahead.
He kept going. he kept going, and he kept going, and I was just like, oh my God, why like this is a train wreck? Why are we still
he couldn't
stop. He said, no. I'm sorry. That's how you feel. I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. But the ITMs, I mean, I'm an understanding person. I was like, are you? And I'm looking at it that the other person has probably been through some shit and wanted that feeling of being wanted. And at the same time, I don't move and operate like that. It doesn't put a cloud over how I'm feeling about her, but it does raise a flag in my head. I was like, you just made a whole lot of assumptions based on one fucking conversation. Because you talked to this girl right before this.
Oh, now you got a red flag about her. Okay. That girl crying. And he just sat there and watched her cry and just kept walking like, oh, well, I said what I said. I was like, this is crazy.
JB said, nah, babe is a bombshell. It's way too early to be assuming he is. Okay, I thought it was me. You're a bomb. Not an OG. You can't be assuming you're number one. Now, if Shelly had been the one and she was assuming number one and then he did all of this, I would have been like, well, again, Ace, you've been going through these conversations, emotions with Shelly, and you chose her. She would think that you were number one.
But I think that she thought he had the ability to choose Shelly, and he still didn't choose her. Like, and I think in Amaya's mind, like, this was his opportunity. If he wanted to choose Shelly, he could, and he still didn't choose her. He chose me. So I think in her mind, she thought he really likes me. And I could see why she would think that. That's all
Ace is a villain. Better get his shit from him. For real. Jessica points out, though, let's not forget Ace's speech. He said a lot of fluff about Amaya just to turn around after and try to put the brakes on it. I mean, it was so much fluff, which is why I'm just like, I'm not sure about this number one business.
Didn't he say he couldn't wait to be in the bed? Couldn't wait to be in the bed next to her and shoot the shit or something, or like talk. Didn't he say something like that in his speech?
He couldn't wait to be in bed with her.
Only to tell her an hour later, when we get in this bed, don't touch me.
Listen, he is the biggest full of shitter like I've ever seen. He said, I can't wait to be in the bed with you. And then told her, no, I can't wait to share a bed with you. And
don't touch me. Don't call me back.
Don't even look at me.
When you get in there, turn over and go to sleep.
Wow.
When you get in that bed,
And KB points out both red flags out here telling each other what red flags they see in the women in the. Oh my God, that was so great. We'll get to that one because I was sitting here like,
That
what?
was crazy. And Nick's like, how dare she say play? I
How
mean,
dare
these
she say
boys
that?
are it was so great.
You.
I'm like, it wow.
Ace actually gave really good advice to Taylor, so he has something in there.
Right.
He
You gonna
needs
lose her.
somebody.
You better buckle
He
down. You
needs
gonna lose
somebody to.
her.
Yeah, he needs somebody to steer him correctly. Unfortunately, the only person who seems to be able to do that is Shelly. Yo, this was the crazy.
Girl. So crazy. It was so crazy.
It's an Ace of Stranger Danger.
You would have thought Ace was the Gemini. He was all over it. I was like,
He was. So Amaya runs to Huda.
Stranger danger.
I can't. Amaya runs to Huda and Jeremiah on the dock and asks Huda to talk to her.
Why Huda? Why Huda?
So no. Oh my
Not
God.
Sierra, not Hannah, who you came in with. Not Sierra. No, you want to go get Huda.
I mean, to be fair, maybe the other people were with the men who actually wanted. And she didn't mind interrupting mom and dad because
He could have interrupted Hannah. Nobody wants to see her and Charlie talk. She could have went and got Hannah. That's who she came in with. That was just weird to me. This girl, you don't even know, but this girl telling Shelly she don't even like you. Like, it wasn't even a full. It was probably 36 hours ago. She told the girl, I don't even like her. I don't have to like her. I don't like her. You know? And you going, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? Oh my God. Oh.
KB says that Amaya and Huda are two peas in a pod. These girls that pissed on other people, other women, when it's your mace man that you should check. And yeah, I think maybe that might be the vibe because I was so confused. I was absolutely confused at I was so confused. I'm like, why are we going to Huda? Mary says two birds chirping because I did not like Huda encouraging Amaya as if she only followed her own advice though. Like for real. Like, what are you doing?
That's
Jaquan
this
says,
whole episode was full of people telling other people and they don't follow their own advice. Like all the way around.
don't. Jaquan says, I thought it was weird she went to Huda too, but there's still a lot we don't see. Probably had a real conversation behind the scenes. Probably. So. And Huda's good for making herself out to be some fake sister, rah sisterhood.
You're a baddie. You don't have to put up with this. You're the prize.
Yes, that's what she told her. So Ace is like to Jeremiah, like, well, I'm not gonna change who I am. Well, really, it was most of the boys. But that's tough thing though, like because I know she's a very affectionate person, and Jeremiah is like, you're not gonna cuddle her if she asks. And Ace said,
ruffles. What was it? Wavy ruffles, wavy chips. Like,
yeah,
nope.
No. Jeremiah's like,
his little self sitting on the counter, probably dangling his legs. Oh, short self.
So Jeremiah said, so if she asks you, you'll say no. No. And Ace said, honestly, yeah. And Jeremiah's like, well, shit, okay. Ace says, I can tell a girl no. I want to make sure I like you more. Jeremiah's like, that's real. And I'm just like, I mean, I get it. Like KB saying here, Ace said he has boundaries and standards, and I see that.
Okay, y'all.
I just feel like he's a walking contradiction at this point. Because what you seem to be saying that you wanted in the beginning,
right,
is not this. Not this. And there's a way to say it, right? Like, want to take time, be friends first. not lean into the physical, then when we get there, we can build up to that. No problem with that. No problem with that. What is this? This feels like a block to make sure that you don't get close to nobody. KB says, "Go off, King." Ace.
Yes,
Boo,
yes,
tomatoes,
boo.
Mary says, "Look, we respect boundaries, but Ace didn't want Amaya to have her stuff." So when he scored, that's the thing.
Oh, yeah. When he drops her like a bad habit, he don't want her to be able to say, "You were cuddling me, kissing me."
Huda, it says, "Ace is a flirt. Make him earn it. You're the prize."
True.
Fair. I'm like, I can't really say she's wrong.
Right.
Austin pulls Shelly for a chat, and I was just like, "Oh my God, please get her away from
I know. I'm like, she got to blow smoke up his tail for 20 minutes. Like,
so Austin pulls Shelly, and how you feeling? Shelly, tonight was very emotional. Austin wasn't expecting it all to go on like that. Oh, Shelly, aside from the highlight of my night was your speech. Austin, did you like it? Shelly, I loved it. Couldn't stop cheesing. I'm like, please stop cheesing. Austin, I feel good about everything. I was like, please, baby girl, like, no. And then she ITMs that he's goofy and she thinks he looks good. And it's like, but he doesn't.
I know. I'm like, why are you telling him your body? I'm like, what? Like, please, Shelly, stop.
He's also a walking red flag. Like, please.
Girl, he was getting mad tonight. He don't want Ace talking to his Shelly. Ace got everybody on his tail.
Jessica says that, will somebody please save my girl? She's falling into the sunken place. Like, please, like, please. Like, we are praying. I'm like, oh my God, it don't even look like a bombshell is coming tomorrow. Like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Tia says the only adjective that Shelly correctly used for Austin was tall, pretty much.
That is true. That is true.
That is. Alondra said men are so wishy-washy. And I was like, y'all got some of the wishiest and washiest.
Right.
Oh my God. Alondra spills the beads of the Beldasha in Soul Ties and with Nick, and Sierra said, we made out 5 minutes later. Alondra, I'm so sorry.
Right.
Okay, I love the girl.
Tongue her down. Oh, I'm
even tugging it. I was like, Alondra, I love you so much. She's just taking it and putting the screw. Like,
and then I'm so sorry. Did I say that? I'm so sorry. You didn't know? Oh my gosh. Am I telling the business? Is it me? Am I the guy?
Sorry, my bad. I don't want you to be upset. Well, I didn't know what to do now because I was looking for him to cuddle Alondra and the girls. No, still do that.
Talk to him tomorrow. Everybody want to go to sleep. Please, no more smoke tonight. Please, just talk to him about this tomorrow. Can we all just go to sleep? No more.
I was dying laughing. They are so serious too. They're like, please, not a late night. I don't even know what time it is. Please, just do it tomorrow. Rachel says, Ola and Shelly just need to survive until new people until then I must suffer. I mean, at this point, I can't. Oh my God. It was like the funniest of conversations. Yes, I swear
it was.
So Charlie says to Nick, what you did today was wild. So none of them none of them thought he was gonna pick Sierra, which is crazy.
Girls Nick was sitting there like, What are you talking? The way Nick acts like everybody's overreacting. He like, I what you so crazy.
What do you call it? The girls asked Amaya, will Ace cuddle? And Amaya's like, you never know. These men don't know what they want. And I was like, poor thing.
Baby, he just told you he wasn't cuddling with you. Why would she say? I didn't understand her saying that because I'm like, he just told you he don't want to cuddle with
She
you.
don't. It's just like how Huda came back and told these people that this man said he about to move in. She don't want them to know the truth. That man don't want me. That's why she probably went to Huda. So they get into bed and Ace does ask her though what she wants for breakfast, and she says what she wants, and he she was like coffee. And she asked him, does he want anything? And he says no.
I'm good.
And I'm good. And so in bed we see Huda and Jeremiah make out. So do Hannah and Charlie. And Nick kisses Sierra because she basically turned in bed.
Did she? Did she? She put her bonnet on and was like, not today.
Yeah, as KB said, Nasty Nick was confused. He certainly was. He's like, so the first night we're not doing okay.
Nope, we're not.
Mary says, I am not mad at Olaf. We need somebody to be the boat collector like Ekin. Lord Jesus. She's doing it so much better than Ekin because Ekin, you knew she was stirring the pot. You knew it on her season. You knew it on All Stars. She loves stirring the pot. Alondra's not even trying to stir the pot. She just
she just got to spread the gossip every now and then. Just sprinkle it. Yeah, and then be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I would do that like 3 times and be like, why do I keep doing that? Why is nobody telling me not to say nothing? I would do that like 3 or 4 times when I was in the villa just to get the stuff out there and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe
oh my gosh. KB says that what I feel like we always see Jeremiah and Huda making out, and I'm tired of them. Honestly, I wish they would take a break. See, this was my thing last season because everybody was mad because we didn't see certain couples making out that much. And I'm like, I don't mind it because my whole thing is I just feel like if you like with Aaron and Kayla, if you're making out that much, it's just you're not actually building a relationship.
And how genuine is it to like Huda couldn't wait for the lights to go out. It seemed like as soon as the light went out, she attacked him, and it was just kind of like, calm down.
Yeah, I just don't feel like I don't have a problem with physical. I don't have a problem with physical connection, physical interactions. I have a problem when they feel built on falseness. And that stop, Mary. And that let's not put that in the air. I can't. Mary says, "Baby number 2." Please, let's not do that. I just feel like there's a falsehood to it that I can't. When Aaron and Kayla did it, I felt the same way. I can't do it. Like, I don't mind intimacy. I don't mind watching intimacy. I love watching intimacy. Anybody being intimate, have a good time. I'm just saying that when it just doesn't feel like it's coming from a genuine place or a healthy place, that's the part where I get like skeeved out, right? Maybe said that part. So yeah, it's just that's what I feel from it. Like, can we not and say we did? So this is when the next morning, Alondra says she's making breakfast for her man. I was like, okay. All right. Listen, I didn't hate it because the man has been making her breakfast for like 5 days straight now.
And she's trying to progress some things along, and she know he can't do it. He can't progress. So again, she has to take the lead to tell this man for the 9th time, I like you. And I'm not only going to tell you, I'm going to show you this time. For the 9th time, and she's going to do it at 10th, but this is the 9th time, let me make you breakfast.
And so Ace asked her in the kitchen, does she know how to make coffee? And she says she sure as heck don't. So they have one of those like espresso coffee machines, which is not easy to use.
No, it's not.
And so he does just bring Amaya breakfast and tells her he doesn't know how to use the coffee machine, which the one thing I can I do like about Ace in this way is that he's not false. Like he could have pretended like, oh, like the coffee didn't work out or whatever. I tried, it didn't work or whatever. He just said, I just don't know how to like a lot of men would not admit they don't know how to use something.
That's true.
So I'm gonna give him that. And he just went ahead and made her breakfast. So Austin brings Shelly something. I did not see what was on the plate. Did you see what was on the plate?
Oh, he brought her some egg with smashed avocado, and he said some chili oil or something on
Oh, okay. So he brought her avocado toast with egg.
it. Mm-hmm.
All righty. One step ahead. And then Hannah gets her breakfast from her man, and that's when they said, "Oh, you didn't have to fight for him." And KB says Ace is an honest villain. That's what we're getting. So Jeremiah brings her breakfast. Yeah. And so we do see Ace ask Taylor how he's feeling. Now Taylor says it's something there, but it's just like the physical attraction isn't there. And it's if it's not there, I don't know even how you get there. And so I totally understood what he was trying to say. I know a lot of people don't, but when you have a connection with somebody, but it's not a physically based connection, it's more of like emotional and just like that connection, which is what we've been saying that we see that they have.
But he said physical attraction. He is attracted to her, is he not? Why would he say that? I thought he was attracted to her.
He might be using the wrong verbiage, or he might just not be physically attracted to her, like, or sexually attracted. I don't know, because
I think he used the wrong. I think it's something else. I think he used the wrong, because I think he's physically attracted to her.
Yes, I don't think it said he's not physically attracted to her. I think he doesn't know how to rev up the engines to get them going,
right?
Which would be in line with what he's saying,
right? I think he meant to say sexual attraction, sexual chemistry.
Yes, which is what I think. I think he means that he didn't know how to start off the sexual part of their relationship. Now KB says, I think he's not physically attracted, like she's not his type or preference. As far as I know, she is his type of preference.
That's what I'm saying. He said, I mean, she got a small waist.
Based on what he said, based on from what I've gathered is his dating history, she is his type and preference.
That's why I was like, I don't know, Chad.
So I don't know. But I also understand you can be attracted to somebody in every other way than physical, and then the physical comes. Then they're the most attractive person to you. Absolutely. But I don't think it was about physical attraction. I think it was more about how do we spark that sexual thing.
Right, because I don't see you and immediately want to tongue you down. Like Olandria said, you tongue her down. Like, I don't see you and immediately want to do that. I don't see you walking by, and even though I like that you got a big butt, I don't want to tap it or grab it. Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, he needs that. He needs that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't want to cuddle. It doesn't, when you get in the bed, I'm not immediately like, hoodda, and like, can't wait for them lights to go out so I can put that cover over and get the, you know, like, so he just wants something to happen there. But sometimes you got to make it happen. And that's what you got to learn. Sometimes when I say make it happen, like you just have to go in for some kisses to see if you like kissing the person, right? You just got to see about it. You got to see.
Sometimes it's more of when it's that kind of blockage, sometimes it's more that you have to just go in and just do it and see if it works. Absolutely. And see if it does, it will. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I think the block that he was having is, I don't know how to proceed without fucking it up.
Right.
Now Rachel says, nope, I'm not giving Taylor password that, like, if they play that on movie night, that's going to be awful. I don't think it would be awful. She basically said the same thing about him. in
That
her
she wasn't
conversation.
physically attracted to him?
That she didn't want to jump his bones.
No, but what Rachel is saying is she's not going to give him a pass for using the wrong terminology, because if they play that on movie night, it is not with an explanation like we're doing. It's going to say if the physical attraction isn't there, it's not there. So she's going to feel like he's not physically attracted to her. That's all she's saying, because it's not going to be an explanation. It's going to be a clip, and she's going to be like, oh, he wasn't physically, because she never said she wasn't physically attracted to him. So I think he used the wrong verbiage, but what she's saying is if it's played in a clip on movie night, it's not going to go over well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true, but I also think then that's a conversation, because I mean, I wouldn't be like, oh, you're not physically attracted to me. I would be like, so you're not physically attracted to me, and I doubt he's going to be like, well, I that's what I meant. But Danita is saying he didn't say he wasn't physically attracted. He said sexual, but the caption said physical, messy. Interesting.
No, he said physical, because I didn't
He
watch
said
it with
if the
him.
physical, he said he didn't say physical attraction. He said if the physical is not there, then the physical is not there. That's what he said. Because I have it in my notes. That's
Okay.
why I said I think people think he's saying physical attraction, but I think he's using the wrong words. He meant sexual, meaning wanting to jump on each other.
Okay.
But that's why I'm saying she basically said the same thing. She's not going to just jump on him.
Right. But she
She's like,
also doesn't want to initiate. But I felt like she was saying it because not that she didn't want to, but because even though she's a slow burner, it wasn't really that she didn't want to, but she wasn't going to be the initiator. And I'm like that. Like, you're the man, take the initiative. Like,
yes.
I
And
felt like
that's what she was saying to him, right? Like, take the initiative. But she did say that she didn't, she's like, she doesn't want to, she's not seeing anything where she actually wants to initiate any stuff. Because my whole thing is, yes, you could still always want a guy to initiate physical attraction, but you can also initiate kisses. You can also initiate. There's some things that you can initiate in a relationship without it being that you're the one that's pushing every boundary. Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah. But I think she wanted him to initiate it because
Mm-hmm.
he's not coming out and say he has to initiate something. She
Mm-hmm.
tells him she likes him all the time. We don't hear him say it. And I don't think like we try to like, I felt like he wasn't properly communicated. And you were like, some things are getting cut out. I think some things are getting cut out, blah,
I
blah, blah.
still think we have not gotten one ITM from Taylor.
Right. But what I'm saying, I know about ICM, but I'm talking about conversation to her. What I learned tonight is it's not getting
ITMs
cut out
are the
because
most
she's
honest
saying,
conversation. But see, this is
right,
my thing. ITMs, I don't care what he's saying to her. ITMs tell
he
me,
cares what he's saying to
I
her.
understand that. I'm telling you that ITMs tell me exactly where a person stands. Just like we can see in here how she felt, what you're saying now, that she felt like he wanted to initiate physical contact with her, right? We did not know that before. Yesterday, she didn't say that. Yesterday, she said she was fine at the pace that they were going. So
Right.
we got
What,
two
yeah,
different
yeah.
ITMs where she's saying two different things. But I think it's possible to be okay with where you're at yesterday and then realize you're looking around, everybody is further ahead than you and the person you've been with since day one, and you now want him to initiate contact.
Right.
Is
I'm
what
not even
I'm
talking
saying.
about contact right now. I'm talking about him even telling this girl he likes her. He's not doing it.
I don't think that that's the
He's
case
not
because
doing it.
she said, I don't think he's not told her he likes her.
I think so because she is saying, we keep having these conversations and I can't tell that you're into me. I'm feeling insecure because I don't really know if you want this. And
I
he's
don't think
having
it's
to
the
tell her, I'm
insecurity of
sorry that
hers.
I made you feel that way. And it's not going, I'm going to do what I have to do so that you don't feel that way moving forward.
I don't think the insecurity was based on what he's not or isn't telling her. I think it was based on the physical contact.
Okay. I don't think that he was chalanting about her, but we will agree to disagree.
Yeah, but I just don't, I don't, because based on everything that she's saying here, she's not saying, you're not telling me how you feel, you're not telling me what you
If
want
I
to do
say I don't
next.
know how you feel, that means you're not telling me. I don't have to use the word you're not telling me. If I'm telling you I
When did
don't
she say,
know,
I don't
how
know
else
how
am I
you
gonna know?
feel? That's not what she said. She did not say, you're not telling me how you feel, I don't know how you feel. She says that she's about action, and she wants to make sure that her words match the action. So she's telling him that
I'm not talking about
I
when they were
think,
at breakfast. Okay, we're talking about two different conversations. Because now
yeah,
I'm
well,
talking
that's
about
the
later.
conversation I'm on.
I thought you're on the breakfast conversation.
I am on the breakfast
Yeah,
conversation.
but I'm now talking about the conversation she had with him later when they were sitting in the chase before he kissed her. So that's we're where we're going. So go ahead and go
Right,
back to
but
the breakfast.
I'm on the breakfast conversation.
But that's not the conversation I was talking about, Tamika. Now I'm telling you, now I'm going to go back to the breakfast conversation. That's why we're having a disconnect. I was talking about the conversation on the lounge before he kissed her. So that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
but what I'm saying is, but that's later. I'm talking about this
I know, and
conversation.
I didn't know that. So now I'm saying let's just go back to that conversation. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
So that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is, in this conversation, that is what she was asking for. Physical
Okay.
contact.
Okay.
She had not said to him, you're not telling me. She's sitting there. She was the one initiating this entire conversation.
Right. Like she initiates everything. Right.
Right. So she initiated this entire conversation where she could have said, I don't know
Right.
how you feel. I don't know what you like feeling about me. That's not what she said in this conversation.
No, she
She
didn't say it in this
only
one.
took,
So she had to
yeah,
have another one with him for the 10th time. You're right. She
yeah,
didn't say it
but
in this one.
all she said in this was physical. But maybe it's because then what she realized is she didn't need the physical, because in this conversation she ITMs to us, she's fine with where they are physically. So then that's when I'm saying to you, I think that's when she realized, no, he's not saying to me what I need him to say. But what I'm saying to you is, yesterday and today she said two totally different things about how she was feeling. I have gotten nothing from Taylor on how he's feeling either which way. So I can't sit here and say for sure he's not telling her one thing or the other, because to this point, he had not said anything to her that we said was different than what she was saying to us. That's it. That was my point. Mary says, I like Taylor and Alana, but not together. They're giving siblings. Um, KB says Taylor hasn't said anything, but actions are telling too. That's what I'm saying. I think it's either you have to react or you have to verbally react. And I think she thought she needed an actual physical reaction from him. Um, but in this combo, she's asking because she knows something is off, but he's not explicitly saying what is off. Taylor didn't say anything in this conversation, but I also was just like, Alondra, stop talking because he's eating. Like, when a man is eating, I've never gotten a man to sit here and be like, yeah, I want to talk about my feelings while we're eating. Like,
She just
no.
wants something. She trying to get to him. She think you can get to a man through their stomach. So she trying everything at this point. Now I'm gonna take it out, the cooking out of his hands, and I'm gonna cook for him. Maybe that'll do something. Maybe that'll light a fire. She just trying anything at this point.
And so KB points out his actions were lacking. And Miss Love says every time she says she liked him in this episode, he didn't say anything back. But he has said it before that he does like her. So he says the connection is there. I like you. That's why I'm saying I don't think it was that he has not met her at all in that. But she did feel some sort of insecurity. She says in this conversation that she felt like it was more of an action because she sees everybody else in the villa being connected, and she's not seeing anything, but she wants it to be a genuine, organic connection. That's it. That's what was in this conversation. And Taylor says, for sure. Hey, Boss Queen.
Hey, boss queen.
Sierra chats with Shelly about Nick and Bella in Soul Ties, and she says it's just a trust thing. Uh, Tia's saying what I said yesterday. If he's being an ultimate Southern gentleman and waiting for her to give him the okay to show his attraction physically, she eventually does so later in the show. Well, that's what I said yesterday, that I think he might have been waiting for her to give him the go ahead.
Okay.
You can yeah, you can initiate contact, which is why I understood her doing this conversation. I thought that was the appropriate approach, because if you're saying you're a slow burner and that you don't do things very quickly, then somebody is going to be like, oh, when can I approach you? So I didn't have a
Absolutely.
problem with the conversation. I just had a problem with her continuing to talk, because I'm like, he's not really saying anything at this point.
He
He's not
never does.
saying he's not saying you're right, and he's not saying you're wrong. But also, is there a reason why he's not saying that? Maybe he doesn't know where he is, or with how to initiate physical contact with her, which is more,
Right.
we're talking about sexual. So it's like holding hands, putting your, basically touching another person's body, which I get, because not all the time can you always be like, oh, I'm comfortable with touching somebody else if
Mm-hmm.
you're not sure if that person wants you to.
Right. Yeah, but I just think sometimes you just gotta go out on a limb and say, can I pull you for a chat? And then as you're walking, can I hold your hand as we go over there? Just something. Like you just have to I just I don't
But
like
he has held. Okay, so this is my thing. He has held her hand a lot,
okay, so if he's held her hand, then now you need to progress to something else.
which is
So
what I
you
think
have
she
to
was saying.
slowly do that. Like you can kiss on
Yeah,
the cheek. You could is he kissing on the cheek? Is
yeah,
he like you have to do something to keep progressing and progressing and progressing. Just like if
yes,
he was training a horse or whatever, today you're doing this, then that tomorrow you do this and do that. So I'm just wondering if he was progressing.
right. And I think that's where she was saying, okay, now we need to progress. He doesn't even do. Listen, she was saying yesterday that they were this close together, and she was so happy because that was big for them.
Yeah, and she probably laid down for them to get that close. That's all I'm saying. She probably just was tired. She tired, so she just like I gotta just come out and say it. And then I think that was her last ditch effort. Once I say this and
Mhm.
you still don't do it, then we probably got a problem. But he tried to do something. So
I mean, I think it. This is my issue with it. I think it's unfair to just say that he is not doing anything, because I'm not seeing that he's not doing anything. I just feel like he's just not doing enough. There's difference between not doing enough and not doing anything.
well, he wasn't doing enough.
Right.
We'll say that. He wasn't doing enough for her liking. We'll say that.
But Miss Love, this is what we're saying. If it feels like Taylor's trying to play the part when he kisses her and tries to be physical, but only because she said how she was feeling and Ace told him to get it together. But isn't that what he's supposed to do then? In this case, isn't that what he's supposed to do? Because if he doesn't know how to do that, and she's saying, I need you to meet me there, isn't that what he's supposed to do? Or is he
If it's
supposed to
genuine, yeah, yeah, absolutely. If it's genuine, yeah.
or is he supposed to ignore how she's feeling and say, well, I don't care how, kind of what Ace did to Amaya. I don't care how you're feeling. I'm going to do it regardless of how you feel or what you want. I mean, I think that's where we're coming to, because it's really two mirrors, right? Ace and Amaya. Amaya's like, okay, I can't stop calling you babe. It's part of my vernacular. That's a boundary for me. She's like, okay, well then it's going to be very difficult for me because I call everybody babe. So I understand your boundary, but you're not also not um being
Giving me grace. You're not giving me
giving
grace.
me grace. So I feel like here, if he's taking in what she's saying and then trying to meet her where she's at, what's like where what is he supposed to do?
I think probably it's hard when you feel when I guess when people see that somebody has to tell you, they don't sometimes they don't know if it's genuine or not, if you're just doing it because you're told or if you're doing it because you want to do it. So maybe they felt because when he said tomorrow's gonna be a better day, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I thought in my head when he said that he was gonna like take in what she said and
Mm-hmm.
then moving forward tomorrow, he was probably gonna, think in his head, what are these actions that I can take to
Mm-hmm.
start, you know what I mean? But as soon as they got up, he then kissed her. So I
Mm-hmm.
think to some people it felt like, ugh, was that, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't even like kind of special. I guess people want when you're rooting for somebody, you kind of want these special moments. So they probably, in my
They
mind,
wanted to do it in a way that makes it grander or better, that they feel better about it, but also
yeah,
I
and
can say,
it doesn't just feel like she just told you to kiss her and you kissed her. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
when people are like, "Oh, bring the thing, kiss, 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 kiss," and so people are
yes.
like, "Okay,
But I
okay,
also, as somebody who also is a person who gets in their head when it comes to physical interactions, I can tell you sometimes you just have to do it in the moment
right."
to
Right.
get out
No,
of your
I
head.
understand. I understand. I was just thinking probably that he was gonna try it at night, like maybe to cuddle, and subtle, you know what I mean? And like it'd be just them and then wake up tomorrow and when he came to bring her breakfast, give her a little kiss. I just thought he was gonna, just try to subtly like implement it tomorrow because he was like, tomorrow I'm gonna be better. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I was thinking. But he
Mm-hmm.
did it immediately. And then when they went to the photo booth, it was like they were trying to, and it just seemed a little awkward. It was just a little awkward.
It's awkward, but that's what he said to Ace. He's like, I don't know how to get that started because it's not happening
Right.
naturally. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if it's not happening naturally and you're in your head about it, how else do you get out of your head about it?
That's true. Sometimes you gotta just do it. I think it probably might have been better if maybe they started by cuddling, because then it wouldn't have been so on us, you know what I mean? And it could have been a moment just in the dark with them and not,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and warmed up to it. But it happened and so it is. And I'm happy it happened. So hopefully it'll continue to happen. I hope. But if not, we know they tried. And we just gotta be like, okay, it's not there.
Well, I mean, that's what I said at the top of the show. At this point, I'm just here to see how it evolves because at the end of the day, I don't think it's because I think a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he's playing her, he's playing her." I don't think it's that he's playing her. I
Oh, I
think he
don't think
likes her a lot. I think he genuinely wants to meet her where she's at. I genuinely think that. I think it's two people who are good people that just don't know how to meet each other necessarily. She did it in the beginning, he's doing it now, and I think they keep trying to meet each other where they're at. And it doesn't always necessarily look the way that people would expect it to, in my opinion.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Sierra chats to Shelly about Nick and Bella and Soul Ties, and she says it's a trust thing. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want to build her relationship on shaky foundation. Little
Mm-hmm.
things she noticed, she's just concerned that is a character flaw. And she just doesn't want it to continue. So, like, how do you move forward?
Right.
H chats with Alondra about Jeremiah and Huda's relationship. And Ace says, do you think it's really real? And she's like, well, yeah, I would like to think it's real. It's genuine. It seems like it's reciprocated um, uh, on both sides. And Huda says, stop, don't do that at our wedding. And Jeremy, I'm tired. Jeremiah laughs, at our wedding? And I'm like, girl, wedding?
Wedding? That's what she said. That's what she said.
I'm like, okay. Ace says, I don't know, something is wrong this within this mofo. Like, I think she's more invested in him. And Alon
Mhm.
says, you think so? And he's like, yes. And we do hear Jeremiah says to Huda, my whole heart. And then Ace says, to be
Yeah.
closed off early is you're going to get bored. Like, don't you think he'll get bored? And Taylor does say, like, Amaya could have been his type, but she really could have come in and just took him away, but she didn't.
Mhm.
Jeremiah's text, gets a text, and they're going on a date to make a splash on your first date. And they get ready to go out the villa. Everybody but Ace seems excited. I was like, Ace is just like, he's over
Mhm.
it.
Yep.
And she wants to see him out in the real world. So they get to go to a water park.
Yep.
Um, Ace tells Nick about his conversation with Amaya, and that's when Nick says it was a red flag. And Ace feels like this is the first time he had the opportunity to choose somebody, and that he chose her, and I could have chose anyone. And of all the people I've had more conversations with, this is like I wasted my pick. It's super awkward, and the situation is, I'm a positive dude, and hopefully we could come to an understanding. And Ace is like, oh, she's saying it's a player vibes. It threw me off. And Nick says, that sounds delusional. And I'm like, y'all are delusional in this
Right.
conversation. I need
Right.
somebody else to come pull y'all out of this conversation.
Exactly.
Can we not?
Exactly.
Um, and Ace does agree with him. And so we see Jeremiah and Huda at the water park. They're talking about real life outside the villa. Shelly, Sierra, and Alan Tats, and they're talking about Jeremiah and the early love bombing that Huda mentioned was possibly happening. Shelly does not agree. She doesn't feel like Jeremiah was love bombing Huda. And I'm like, okay, I don't agree, but sure, Shelly.
Mm.
And Olan's like, well, I'm gonna say it was bringing up red flags for me. It felt a lot full on, and he wasn't talking to anybody else.
Right.
So that's kind of where it was giving me. And Shelly says, "Oh well, I'll have to look into it, him more. Look into him a lot
Right.
closer." And it's kind of like, well, yeah, that's your girl. So you handle that now, because no,
Right.
I ain't getting involved. Miss Love says Alondra is reading Jeremiah exactly correct. She's
Absolutely.
KB says bird brains chirping. Only Allah has any discernment and common sense in this. And that's what I got from it. Because I was like, did nobody see what's going on?
They don't.
No. So then we see Jeremiah wants to, so this was the thing. Jeremiah says in this conversation, because I basically gleaned this much from it. It is that he wanted to try long distance first, because I guess he's in Vegas and she's in North Carolina. And he says, well, I think we should just try long distance first. And it's like, oh, okay.
I mean, that
So
would make sense because why would y'all move in immediately? And I don't even understand why she would try with a whole child be trying to move in with somebody immediately. Like that's crazy to me. Like this whole thing is crazy.
some people do not care. Some people don't care.
I don't think
Um,
that's right.
KB says every season we have to sit and listen to the girls give each other the worst damn advice. I know. It's just you love, and then you're just like, yes, girl, go do it. And it's like, no, girl, not with that person. Austin texts to Nick, and he tells him that Amaya and him were chatting and they kissed on the dock, but don't tell anyone. And it's like, why are we bringing this up?
Because
And
he's so excited because somebody kissed him. He just excited he couldn't keep it to himself. Because he doesn't
doesn't
get kissed outside the challenges. And so somebody finally did it and he just couldn't keep it to himself anymore. So he had to tell somebody.
Oh Lord. Well, that's gonna get back to somebody. So Ace and Amaya chats, and she apologizes for going off, and Ace tells her, "Well, it's so. What do you call your partner? What nicknames do you use?" And I was like, "Where are you going with this, Ace?" And she said, "Well, I call like depends. I come up with a pet name, or I I call him Babe." And he's like, "Babe, you use that a lot. Like you used that this morning. Like, don't call me Babe." And Amaya says, "So I'm gonna need to stop because you're pissing me off." And I was like, "Yeah, see, the New Yorker slash Scorpio is about to come out now because
Mm-hmm.
what are we doing here?" And she says, "So I'm gonna walk away. You're trying to make it seem like I'm being selfish right now." And he says, "Well, I want us to be able to communicate without you feeling a type of way. The
But
names
he
that
didn't
you
have to do it like that. He baited her into that. What do you call your significant others in a relationship? If he didn't want her to call him babe, he could have just said that from the beginning instead of probing a question and doing all of that stuff. This is what I'm saying. Like he was trying to rile her up.
Boss Queen says the biggest point here. Shut up, Ace. Um, so but he does keep going. He says, "Well, I." Because she's like, "I will respect your boundaries," and he's like, "I feel like you're being passive aggressive," and she accidentally calls him babe again, and she's like, "Listen, I know my worth plus tax, so you could go on ahead and explore other connections." And so then now Amaya runs to Shelly, and she's like, telling her, "It's like I can't breathe," and Shelly agrees with her. And Nick agrees with Ace, and I'm like, "Nick, please, like, I need you out of this situation. You're not helpful." I wish Bella was still here so that Nick would stay away from Ace because
He only
this is
got one
not.
girl to concentrate on now. He got time. He got time.
I get that he doesn't like the bait, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I use it too. I think it's a Northeast thing. Like there's some verbiage that you just use.
I say boo a lot. Like my
Yeah,
friends even call me boo because like that was like a running joke in college because I would just be like to everybody, "Hey boo, how you doing, boo?" Like just saying it, and it was not like I'm trying to get with you. I'm saying it to women. I'm saying it to men. Like I'm just saying it.
yeah.
So
Um,
you know,
that's what I'm saying. I'll say it to women. I'll say it to. It's just like she said, vernacular, and he's taking offense to it.
he's not
But
offended. He's been called much worse. He
but
just
this is
want to. He
also
just want to be a problem.
yeah, this is also the conversation where Nick says, "Nah, just go ahead and start talking back to Shelly." And I was like, "Who told y'all Shelly still wants to talk to this man?" So,
Uh,
but Shelly does agree with Amaya. She should just go ahead and explore her other options because she don't know what Ace is doing, and she's over Ace
right.
herself. But Ace pulls her for a chat, and she's like, "Oh, you want to chat to me? I've been giving you space, so that's funny." And this is when we see Austin is pissed that
Oh,
Ace
dude.
called Shelly for a chat. Um, and Ace is like, "How do you feel that I said Amaya's name?" And Shelly says, "I didn't feel confused. You're exploring, but I did feel a bit of a way." And we said that yesterday that that's exactly what she was going. She knew that he was going to choose Amaya. She was not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
She just was going to feel a way about him actually choosing her. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so Austin is there, like, "I'm tired of being in a love triangle." I'm like, "Dude, you're not even in a love triangle. I know you think you're in a love triangle."
He said it feels like it. You
Well, it
can't
feels
tell
like
him. He feels like Shelly is his person. And now Ace, here he comes. Tired of it.
Shelly says, "You are still a mystery in a way." And Ace says, "Well, you want me to show all my cards." And Shelly says, "So what you think? I'm just sitting here trying to figure out how to be the perfect man, perfect girl for Ace? That's not what I'm about to do." Ace, "Oh, you're not?" She's like, "No, I'm trying to be Shelly. And if Shelly and Ace click, Shelly and Ace click." Austin rightfully
Thank
doesn't
you.
understand.
Thank you.
why Ace didn't pick Shelly. See, I agreed with him on this. He went before him. Absolutely agree with him on this.
Right. I agree.
This
I agree with
is what
Austin too. Like
this is what I don't agree with him. He's like, there's a weird game that they've been playing where they keep going and floating by each other and not actually figuring it out. And this is when I said this. Austin, shut up. Because what are you talking about? Shelly does not pull this man for chat. They just talk. She allows him to pull her because y'all are still open and y'all are closed off because that's what she's supposed to be doing.
right.
But the fact that hi Ari, how are
Hi,
you?
Ari.
But the fact that you are sitting there going to everybody, Amaya kiss me, but is sitting here so hard pressed because Ace is still talking to your couple. Hello.
But he probably feels like if Ace, he probably thought Ace was going to pick Shelly, really, and he was gonna pick Amaya because he had kissed her. So he probably was like, "Well, I done already. We be doing meditation. I done already kissed her. I got if I pick this girl, she already kissing me on the dock. I really probably can cuddle and all that stuff with her because he probably saw the chemistry between Shelly and Ace, and he thinking this his chance. He has the power. He's gonna pick her." And he probably was like, "Oh, so he didn't pick her. He picked Amaya. Okay, then that's that. I'll pick Shelly and concentrate on her, and then it'll just be my heart." So now he up there with Charlie, and he pissed. No, you had your chance.
Be pissed at Ace all you want to. Leave my girl Shelly out of this. She ignored his ass all day, and then he pulled her for a chat, and she doesn't know what he's going to say. She could think that he's going to talk to her about Amaya, and he's sitting here thinking he still has an option with her, and she's just like, that option probably sailed. I don't know what you're talking about. So he says to Ace, so he goes back on Ace. So I'm like, we're back on track. He's like, you know what you want. It's obvious. Go for it. Quit trying to act like you don't want her to, or you want her to come chase you. She's not the chasing type of girl. And I'm like, the fact that Austin gets it. I am mad at you, Ace. Because why do you have me agreeing with Austin?
Ace knows it too, but Ace is one of those men where he thinks he gonna make you bow down to his will. He knows she not the chasing type, but he think he got the power to make her become the chasing type. That's what he thinks. That's what he thinks. See, he knows, but he thinks his leader of the pack, lion self, gonna make her. You know what I'm saying? Because they just, the woman lion does the hunting and all that stuff. I'm just the protector. I'm just here to be seen. And so he thinks that I know she not that type, but I can make her be that type. And he gonna see he cannot. He's going to see you cannot. You
will
cannot.
not. You'll be lucky that she actually still comes for chats after this. So we're back to Huda and Jeremiah coming back, and they talk about the date. And he said, "Oh, they had good conversations, but it was good being in the outside world with her." Jeremiah said that but Huda says that Jeremiah said that he wants to move in with her. And I said, when did he say that? He specifically said not that.
I'm like, did we miss something? Because he did not say that.
He did. I'm like, that's why I made a note. It's like he said that they would try long distance. I'm like, he specifically did not say, and all the girls like, he did, and she's like, yeah, he did. I'm like, no, he didn't. Mm-hmm. Why are we lying? Mm-hmm. Why are we lying here? Mm-hmm. If y'all are mom and dad and y'all are so good and why are you lying?
Because she really wants everyone to stay away from him, and she wants them to tell all the girls to come in to stay away from him because they already talking about moving in together. They so locked in. But he won't even close things off. Y'all so locked in. Okay. But y'all gonna move in together. Okay.
So nighttime comes and Ace and Amaya are both frustrated. And I was like,
Let me just say this. I do want her to recognize she had to bring up her daughter. He did not. I know you kind of fast forward through some of it because you was already running late. So I don't know if you noticed.
When they were talking about the floaties?
Yeah. He said something like, something about when was the last time you've been to a water park or come to with a water park, and she then mentions her daughter, And he never before that even asked, right? Like, you going to a water park, it's something fun. I would think the first thing you would say is this something you do with your daughter? Like, if you want to know about her and talk about, like, he never asked. And even when she brought her up, then he said, "Oh, okay." And then she told him the schedule of things, and he was like, "Okay." And he then moved on to just keep talking about them. He never was saying stuff about the daughter because he not really about that life. I just wanted to say
Yes,
that. You go
he
on, but
has
I forgot to mention that he really is not about that.
no since she has brought up that she's a mom. I don't think he's ever asked follow-up
No,
questions. And since she has said, like, mentioned, oh, well, I have a daughter and she, she's this and she's that. She's brought it. Oh, and then, you've been so accepting of being a mom, and he's asked no questions about that.
none, none, none.
None. So, and I'm gonna also say, I feel like he does not like her.
I mean,
I
he
don't.
might like her a little bit, but I mean,
I don't know.
not like.
Every day it just feels like he gets more and more annoying. I like it feels like he gets more and more annoyed by her, about by her behaviors.
Yeah, I think he does start to see some red flags, but when he told her with my whole heart tonight, I was like, what? I was like, both of them are
That's what I'm
doing.
saying. I like, but it's both of them. But still, KB says I was so confused. I had to run back the episode. Huda is not what is unwell. It's just weird. But yeah, it's like, okay, so KB thinks he likes her, but I think he's a little put off by her behavior at times. Okay,
Yeah.
y'all. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like. I was noting today as, like, sometimes men can really hate your soul and then be
Who you telling?
out
Who you telling?
in public, treating you like a princess to everybody around you. And I just feel like he doesn't like her, but maybe, like, it could be just me, but maybe I'm reading into it, but that's what I'm getting from it. Like, that vibe. KB said he's also delusional and wants to win the money. Exactly.
That is
Shanice
what
said,
his whole focus is.
Shanice feels like he's sexually attracted to her, that he doesn't like her. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, that
he
could be
does.
it. Yeah,
I don't feel like he likes her. Like, and I think that's also why when they do physical things, it grosses me out. I think that's what my issue is, because every time I just don't feel like he likes her. And
yeah,
so
he
every
is
time they do something
sexually. Yeah,
physical, it makes me ill, because I'm just like, this does not feel like something I should be watching. It just doesn't feel healthy. I don't know. Miss Love says after she told him she was a mom, he has been losing interest, and the more training she gets, the more he's full of. That's how it feels. That's how it feels to me. So we see Alan is chatting with Taylor, and she doesn't feel the need to draw, like, him to cuddle him. Oh, she's saying this to Shelly. Sorry, I have it that she's talking to Taylor. She's talking about Taylor to Shelly.
mm-hmm.
Because Shelly was telling Alondra about her conversation with Ace. That's when they
Right.
talked about the Dora the Explorer, Christopher Columbus. And she says she thinks she should just focus on her couple with Austin. And Alon agrees with her and says, yeah, you probably should just focus on your coupling. And I'm just like, oh, but does she have to?
She don't have no choice. They ain't giving her no choice.
I know. So Alon says that when it comes to Taylor, she doesn't feel the need to, like, cuddle with him or draw him close or initiate any sexual contact with him. And Shelly says, well, it kind of feels like also you've put the ball in his court for him to initiate it so that it will grow. And Alon agrees that she does want him to also initiate it to see if it will grow. And Shelly says, I hope you start feeling that. So this is where I was saying, I think earlier for her, it was more of a physical thing. But then I think as she was going through the night and she was having the conversation with him in the last part is when she was like, no, I don't think he's exactly telling me what he's feeling. Because if I've told him to initiate the physical contact and it's still not getting there, maybe he's just not telling me what he's actually feeling.
Okay.
That's what I was saying through the conversations. So KB says, yeah, they're only leading with physical and sexual, no actual depth. Exactly. And Mary says he's scared because he thinks she's a fan fave and he's scared he's going to get reacted if he betrays her. I also think there's something to this as well. Knowing she's a single mom, he probably does think that she has a lot of fans and that I think he doesn't know how to navigate it, which is kind of also why I want to put them in the bottom. Because if we put them in the bottom, if we vote, and he sees that he has an out, will he take the out?
Will he take the out?
Will he take the out?
He has an out, and then you have to bring somebody in that he would want to risk the out with.
To risk the out with.
Yeah, exactly. It's a two-part. It's a two-part. Yeah,
it's a two-parter, but I agree. Danita says, yeah, once the mom bomb dropped, he seemed to check out a bit, but has to play it correctly. Exactly. Because that's what I've said from the beginning. I feel like he's very strategic and calculated. So in his head, I mean, I'm analytical. I'm not like necessarily calculated, but I am analytical. I think he ran the numbers in his head. He's like, okay, so she's a single mom. So I can't let this go past the end, but also I can't fucking dump her right now. And there's not anybody anyway that I would want to be with in this villa anyway, because we know that literally she and Amaya really are his closest type based on what we've seen that he has dated. It doesn't make sense for him to move from her. And also she's probably a fan favorite, especially since she's a single mom. They probably like her. I've got to figure out a different way to get out of this. We might just have to take this to the end and I'll get out of it. I was willing to go to the end with her anyway, and then I'll get out of it once we get out the show. I don't think he has a problem doing that once they get off the show. But I do think he probably would prefer to move from her. He just doesn't know how. And that's KB says here, he doesn't want to seem like an asshole because that hurts the single mom. And honestly, I think most logical people get it. It's a Delulu shippers that don't see it, that he's being strategic and also enjoys the thrill feels that he gets every night. Exactly. In the shower, in bed, right? Like, so in totality, where they're at doesn't necessarily not work for him. I just don't think that he likes her in a way that would mean that this will evolve into anything post-show. Unless they won. Then he probably would stay with her for a little while to make some money. And then, we did long distance. We couldn't get there, right? So he's saying, let's do long distance. Then we'll figure out if it'll work. I don't want, upset until we figure out if it will work. I think that's him laying the groundwork for the way that he's
not moving in with that woman and that child. He's not doing that.
He has no intentions of playing house. That's what I'm getting from it. So then we hear him say to Huda, because she's like, well, don't you think now we should just close things off? And this is what tells me he also realizes that he can't do this, because if he can get an out, I think he wants to take it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if he was super playing the game, he would close it off.
But he
He would
won't do
close
it.
it up, but he's not going to do it because he realizes if I can get the out and
I'm
still look
taking
at
it.
like the big guy, I'm going to take it.
Yes, because this is not what I want. I don't want to play house. This is not what I want. So if I can get the out, I'm taking it. And he said it would be very difficult, like 6 times, but he didn't say nobody could.
But he
And
didn't say
that's
nobody
the
did.
key,
He
what you
said,
need to focus on. I don't care how many times he said difficult. I want you to focus on the fact that he didn't say they couldn't, and he didn't say he wanted to close it off. And that she needs to wake up her Virgo and say to herself, now wait a minute.
wait a minute. The,
Oh,
the words aren't matching, but
the
she's
word.
too busy making up her own words in her head
Mm-hmm. She got some
because
Pisces in her
chart.
stuff. Yeah, it got
Hilda says, so you're just waiting for someone better to come along? Yes. Yes, he is.
that's
Like,
exactly.
do I have to say, yes, he is. But he's not going to tell you that. But he
Mm-hmm.
says it's too early to close things off. He's like, listen, I highly doubt there's another girl that will get my attention and take me away from you. But we're going to try and see if that can happen. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
got from this conversation, just like Miss CJ said. That's all I've gotten from it. I don't know why she's not getting it, other than she's making up things in her head.
Yep. She blinded. She can't not see.
And Danita says, and them going on a date that was literally all about her daughter and added a wrench to the plan and then asked about closing off week one. He's a little stuck. Right. And I think they realized, oh, well, we got the date. That must mean like producers like us or the outside world likes us because they're
Yeah.
spotlighting us because there are other couples in there. One of the newer couples could have got a date. Somebody else could have got a date. So they somebody must love us, which is why she's saying, don't you think we should just close things off? We got the date. You only have eyes for me. I only have eyes for you. We could just focus on each other. And you don't want nobody else. No, he said he doesn't want anybody else currently in the villa.
Right. And he won't shut it off. He will not shut it. She wanted to be back. She wanted to be able to go back and tell them so bad. We closed it off.
She did.
No, ma'am. No,
She
ma'am.
did. She
No,
did.
ma'am.
KB says, Huda girl, that guy is trying to get rid of you the first chance he gets. Yes. Yes, 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 he is. Ari says he's also not trying to take care of a kid. It's the fact that you've only known him a couple of days. You're already saying you want him to live with him. And that's what Miss T Joy said earlier in the show. Like, where's the disconnect? Like, why don't you slow your roll? Like, you're taking
And you have a
this
little
on the road, but
girl.
you can't.
Like, it's wild. That's wild.
So KB says that watch how he starts to have conversation with the guys about how he doesn't know if he's ready to be a good partner, how he wants to wants better for her and her daughter, yada yada yada. I can see it. Him laying the groundwork that he's unsure, so that when things do be that, he's like, well, I did say in the villa I wasn't sure.
Right.
And KB says, and a date on Monday this
That's
early
what
is
I
crazy.
was saying. That's what I was saying. When have we ever gotten a date this early? Not even a full week of the show. I was like, that's first.
Yesterday, I think they were landing in like third or fourth in the lineup of couples. So I think, and they were first yet last week. So I think the producers realized, okay, they've gone down. They could land in the bottom. And if they land in the bottom, they want to see what he'll do, because they've already outed that he says that he's trying to win the show. They could have hid that. They specifically put that on wax for us to know. KB says, I said it before. Huda is the type to meet a man today and tell her child to call him daddy tomorrow, and she's coming off desperate. She's in love with the idea of love. I agree with the. Ari says once he tells Nick, the other guys will find out. Watch, I don't trust Nick. Nick won't tell somebody. Yeah. Denise says like he can just get your child first before we play house, or meet your child first before we play house.
Right.
Yeah. Because what if your child doesn't like him, or does that not matter?
Exactly.
Ari says, I think he hasn't told any guys, so in order for her to talk about her child openly, they'd have to leave the villa. but yet he still hasn't. He didn't talk. He didn't talk about her child at the water park.
Oh, and he does want to talk to Nick about it. So she said, I'll talk to Nick. No, he said he wants to be able to talk to people about it. Remember, I don't know if you saw this, and she said, I'll talk to Nick. I'll talk to Nick about it. So maybe you'll be able to talk to him. And again, she's acting like she is the. I mean, I know it's her information. Don't get me wrong, but
It's
she
her.
acts like she just dogging out. Like, okay, I'll give you this information today. Okay, you're worthy today. I'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just take the band-aid off. Let the people know what's the big deal.
Mary says, didn't Karen and Nicole get a date this early on? KB feels like it was not the first day of the second week. It was later on in the week or week 3. And she agrees it's right. But also I feel like Karen and Nicole did very similar things, right? It was like she was obsessed with him. He seemed to not want to stay with her. Then he stayed with her through the end of the show because he at some point got stuck. And look at where they are now.
Not together.
Not together. He he said, I want to be able to talk to a man about this. There's no one I could talk to. I've never dated a girl with a kid. And I also knew that he was going to do that.
And neither has Nick. So I don't know what you're talking to Nick about is going to do. But again, everybody in the villa talking to other people is the blind leading the blind. They're all delusional. So
yeah, I mean, I could see maybe he asked around and said, like, have you dated somebody with a kid or know anybody who's dated somebody with a kid or whatever? Maybe. I would think he would want to talk to like Taylor, but I think he doesn't trust that Taylor won't tell Ace. And he doesn't want to tell Ace, which makes sense because Ace is trying to find the crack in the foundation, and this is the crack. This is
absolutely. You got it. You got it.
Mary says, please, producers, don't give Jeremiah an out. Please, producers.
Don't give him an out. We need him to have an out, Mary.
I wanted to see if he takes the out, though. I want to see if he takes the out.
Yeah, you want to see, you know what I mean? If it's real, he'll stay.
But I think he wouldn't tell. I don't think he would tell Huda and Jeremiah's secret to them, though.
Because I don't even think he's gonna tell Austin. I don't think he's gonna tell Ace Austin's secret because see, even if he told Ace Austin's secret, Ace would use that to his benefit. Not that he deserves to, but he would make sure to tell Shelly that. Like, did he tell you? He told you he kissed Amaya? Why she over here? See, that's why I had to tell her I had boundaries because see, she over here kissing people, and you know what I mean. So I think he would tell Shelly. So I think if we see Nick be able to hold his secret, then maybe Jeremiah can trust that he'll hold his secret. Maybe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ari says they knew about both kisses. Nick told them too. Right. And none of them
to tell. It was his business to tell them.
But they didn't seem to tell anybody else. Like Taylor only discussed it with Alon because she told him that she knew from Bella. But I don't think any of them actually told them. And so we all are in agreement here. KB says, for the sake of the child and our entertainment, we need the out. I agree.
Right.
Miss Wilson, please give me the out. I need the drama. I agree. Exactly. So Ari says, we'll see next episode. Yeah.
Yes.
But I do feel like the out is what's going to get us the drama. Her sitting in this whining and all this stuff. I don't want to watch this. And this is not the fairy tale story I think they think that they're giving us.
Right.
It's just not. I'm sorry.
Right.
So the next conversation is basically the Alondra and Taylor conversation where he's basically like, oh, pull up on the winner. And she's like, no, I am the winner. And he says, in your world, yes, you are. And she's like, I am. And basically like, yes, it's my world. You're living it.
Yeah. I thought it was cute. Pull up on the winner.
Yes. And so Taylor's like, where are you headed at? And Alon says, I obviously like you. I like this connection, but I do not feel secure. I feel confident. I don't feel confident. She looks sad, and she says it sucks because I really do like you. But so how do you feel? And Taylor's like, well, first of all, I'm sorry for making you feel that way. It was never my intention to make you feel anything less than what you are. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you don't feel that moving forward. There is things that I can do better. I'm still Team Alondra. And I believe him. I think a lot of people feel like he is playing a game. And my whole thing is he doesn't need to do this to play the game. And I don't think he would do this to play the game. I think he genuinely likes her. Now, whether they have a sexual connection that they could build off to make it more romantic, I don't know. But I'm willing to find out.
Yeah, I think he likes her.
So Alon says, I hope so. She's like, well, he's like, let's have a better day tomorrow. She's like, oh, I hope let's. And he gives her a kiss. Yeah, and he gives her a kiss, and Alon says, well, that was our first kiss after the challenge. All right. And he holds her hand, and they go to the photo booth. And Alon says that the kiss was a big step for them in intimacy. Seems to be something that just they couldn't get going. And I feel like that's the only thing missing from our connection, and it makes me want to explore it even more. So they make out in the photo booth. So we then see Nick and Sierra chat, and she confronts him about this whole kiss talk. The kiss and soul ties, and he said he was gonna tell her, but he couldn't because everything was so back and forth. And she's like, well, didn't you think I should have the information? He's like, no, you should have. I did want to tell you before the girls told you, so you knew the girls knew,
but you did.
But you did. She's like, I feel stupid. And Nick says, well, he basically uses the recoupling as an excuse. And she's like, but the thing is, there are going to be more hard decisions.
Absolutely.
There are going to be more hard decisions. So are you going to react this way every time there's a decision?
Right.
And she basically says, listen, I'll forgive you now. But there's going to be harder days. Do we have to have some sort of understanding of boundaries? Right. I said respect, and I mean respect. This is it. So they do kiss. KB says, I loved his apology. That was a great example of how to acknowledge and apologize to someone. I love Taylor's apology. I did. And that's why I said I think it was an apology and I'm going to meet you I'm going to give you something to meet you where you're at. Because I want this too. Whether it's going to work or not, that remains to be seen.
Right.
Amaya and Ace chat, and he did not like their conversation. Really? You think? She says, no, she understands. But she also says, I'm not a kid. Stop talking to me as if I am one. And Amaya says, this is just part of my lingo. I feel like I'm being picked on. And Ace is like, I'm just confused at why you're not understanding my boundary. She's like, he's like, I just want us to be friends. And she's like, okay. And he said, well,
do you want us to be friends? Do you want us to be friends?
And he's like, I just don't want to be booed up. And she's like, I got it. You want us to be friends. I feel like you're backtracking from everything that you've said. I'm very confused. I said, girl, I'm confused.
Right. And he is too. No, he's not confused.
He's not confused. He doesn't want her.
Right.
He doesn't want her. But he says, listen, I don't want to be moved out. She's like, you know what? Fine. Go pick whoever you want. So I want to understand why we ended there, but then the next clip we see is her yelling at Shelly.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You told him to go. What did you think he was gonna do?
Right. And it's not like something like where they're hyping us up for nothing, because you see Shelly saying stuff too. So it's really happening. So I'm just very confused as to how it got on Shelly too. Like, how did it? Because you and him have not said anything about Shelly in this discussion. So how did you? And she like, cause our friendship, you taking it. Wait a minute. First of all, you've been here 3 days, 72 hours.
I'm telling you, I think they have a friendship outside this villa.
Right, because
I
I'm
told you
noticing
she was
that
following
when
him.
I went on her profile, she liked a lot of her pictures for a
Yeah,
while.
that's what I'm saying. And yeah, and
So
they
that's
they
what I'm
live in
saying.
New
I'm like,
York.
oh, they have a friendship, and they're just not sharing it with us. They're just
Yeah.
not sharing it
So
with
like
us.
when you see her go to pull Amaya the first day when they came in after the baseball challenge, and she's
Hmm.
like, "Hey, girl," like they acknowledge each other as friends. We just didn't like see the words, but it was like, oh, like a I knew you hug and embrace. So they are friends. Boss
But
Queen says,
I still don't understand how she would think that Shelly was doing her wrong because Shelly and that man have whatever they have going on. They had it going on before you came in here. So I don't know what you thinking she doing to you. So that's and she hasn't been disrespectful in any way, not to her partner or to you. So I'm very
she could,
confused on
when
why.
Ace came back to her and was like, "Oh, like I want to get to know you," and Shelly could have been like, "Oh, I still want to get to know you." She was just like, "What you like? You think I'm sitting here waiting on you? That's not what I was
Right,
doing."
right,
She didn't even entertain him.
right. She don't pull him for no chat. She don't touch that man. So why are you fussing at her? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't get
And
that. I don't get that.
then Boss Queen said they've been friends since 2023.
Oh wow. Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
boss queen. I love somebody with the inside scoop. Thank you,
yeah.
girl.
But yeah, so this is they have been friends. So I would also kind of then be offended, like, okay, if you understand we're friends, you understand how I move. So why would you think, like, why
Right.
are you letting this guy get between us regardless of whatever
This
you're
guy
feeling?
that don't like you, don't do that. Don't do
Yeah.
that. Especially a guy that don't like you, don't do that. Don't go out bad, sis. Don't do that.
Mary, no, she's not stuck with Shelly. Shelly's not stuck with Huda and Amaya. Shelly is stuck with Alon and Sierra because those are her girls. So Mary says, what, wait, how was the filming that they did when they went to Ariana's dry sandwich shop? Yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago, so we did see photos from that. That's from Beyond the Villa.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I don't know how we got there where she basically telling him, go ahead and go about your business. I guess it's one of those. I'm going to guess, but again, we'll see with the first look tomorrow. But also I won't be here tomorrow, so I'm going to give my preliminary thoughts until Wednesday when we can chat again. I think it might be a case of he says fine, she says fine, and then she gets mad because he goes and does just that. And the person he goes and just does just that is Shelly. And while we know that Shelly probably is not fully entertaining him, she's also not entertaining him. So
Right.
if he pulls her for a chat, Shelly's gonna chat to him because that's her
Right.
second
And
best.
she can pull Austin because he told her you can explore your options
And
too.
that
So
is my issue here. But she's also a Scorpio. So I think it could be a bit of envy that basically the two guys that she likes both seem to prefer Shelly. So instead of saying, I'm going to go and talk to the guy that I know I can get, which is Austin, she is mad at Shelly that Ace still likes her.
mhm. But I think she can sway Austin. Amaya. I think she can go ahead and sway Austin if she really
Yeah,
wants to.
yeah. I mean, at this point, what I've said yesterday still holds. She can go do whatever she wants to. Ace can do whatever she wants to, whatever he wants to. At the end of the day, a guy bombshell is going to come in, and Shelly will have basically it, the ball will be in her court because
Hmm.
she's going to do the choosing, right? Until the next round. So,
Yes.
yeah, I think, as KB says, yeah, Scorpio envy and lashing out. I think that's where we are.
Hmm.
And so, because she is just not getting that, he probably would have preferred to be with Shelly. But he chose you. I think because again, she said she thought she was his number one, and now to realize that no, you're not even number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, KB says a tree could sway audacity
Yes,
at this point. I don't know. Oh, KB said somebody said Nick looked like the cat in the hat. Now I can't. Oh my God, he does.
he does. He absolutely does. He
He does.
absolutely does.
Oh wow. Um, Mary says, I hope Shelly is between Homelander and Dara and sends Dara packing. I doubt the producers will let their male pot stirrer villain go home. They won't. Ooh, Ace legit had buyer's remorse. He did. He did. And that's literally all he said in here. It's like, wait,
Yep.
did I make the wrong choice? This is the first time I got to do the picking, and like it doesn't feel like I got the picking of pickings. I'm like, whose fault is that?
Right.
You want to be Dora the Explorer. This is
Yep.
what happens when you're exploring.
Exactly.
Not everything is going to land exactly the way you want it to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, all right, guys, I will not be here tomorrow. Like I said, my son is getting a scholarship tomorrow and a scholarship award, so I will not be here. I will be back
Okay.
on Wednesday. Wednesday, we will chat more about tomorrow's episode. Like I said, I hopeful that I can watch Destination X as well, and I'm hopeful that I can watch some of Love Island UK. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it through all three shows, but we will make it do what it do. So I'll be on a little earlier on Thursday, maybe around 9 o'clock. And thank you guys. Yeah, we're proud of him. So he'll be graduating from high school this year, and my youngest will be graduating from middle school. So very proud of both of my boys. So won't be here tomorrow, but you can always find me here as well as on TikTok. So I'm been in the comments, liking, responding where I can, and Instagram, Threads. I tried to be as many social places as I can. So I made a TikTok. Thanks, KB. I made a TikTok today about the Beyond the Villa spinoff. So if you want a bit of details about that in the trailer, that's in the TikTok. And I'm just trying to keep bringing you guys information. So make sure you subscribe to me here, hit the notification bell, like, share. I started a playlist of all these episodes, so we could go back to it. And if you know anybody who's watching that wants something to watch, well,
Oh,
especially
that was
on
nice.
Wednesday, catch up. So there's a playlist for season 7 already, and then if they went back and watched season 6, there's a playlist for season 6 as well on my channel.
Oh, that's nice.
Um, and then like I said, follow me on TikTok. I will be doing some TikTok lives when I can. It usually would be Wednesdays, but since I'm not going to cover the episode tomorrow, I'll cover it on, and I'll probably have to do the same thing next Tuesday because my youngest graduates from school
Oh,
next Tuesday. So I'll catch up on Wednesday. So lots going on. I'm excited for the things coming up. But like I said, Janae hits Destination X this week. We got the Beyond the Villa trailer. Our girls, Serena and Janae, will be hitting After Sun. So all those things I will be covering this week. So I'm excited. So like I said, you can meet me in the comments. Miss T Joy, where can they find you?
you can find me at Miss T Joy on Instagram and YouTube, Miss T Joy 2 on TikTok, Miss T Joy on Threads and Blue Sky and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Um, and you can, as always, follow me on Entertainment and Cover everywhere except for Twitter. Twitter is Entertainment and Co Media because they still have not given me back my original account. And so yeah, follow me everywhere and hit the socials. And I hope to see you in the comments. And I can't wait to chit chat about this show because I really want to know how we got from one place to the other.
Yes,
Because
and not
girl,
too much on my girl. Not
not too
too
much.
much on my girl Shelly, because
Yeah,
we will turn on you quick.
yeah.
I want to like
So
both of y'all, Amaya. I really do. I want to like you and root for
yeah,
you
I'm
at the
still
same
in on
time.
the season. I know people are like, "Oh, if this happens, I'm done. If that happens, I'm done." I'm still watching. I'm still
Yeah,
enjoying. I
yeah.
think my least enjoyable part, and they did a good job. That we did not see a lot of Charlie and Hannah, and
Because they
I just had
didn't
to,
nobody like them.
yeah, and I just had to fast forward through Huda and Jeremiah, so we're good, right? Like if we keep going like this, except for I need them, I really need them to pull the trigger so that we can see if he will take the bait. That's it.
And we
Um,
need some bombshells for
oh my
Shelly.
God, we need
Come
bombshells.
on.
Period. We need bombshells, like we said yesterday, that like
Men
black women,
bombshells. Yes. Yes.
specifically. Please and thank you. And
Thank
with that said, I will see you guys next time.